Hey y'all. Okay, so something a little bit different tonight. So, I'm not cooking right now. I just wanted to talk to you for a minute because a post that I shared yesterday kind of went really bad south. And I don't like that. I don't want to deal with that. That's not my purpose of having the page, okay? So what I shared was a post from somebody that I personally know that had went and visited the area that was affected by the hurricane, the flooding in East Tennessee and in North Carolina. They had posted pictures, they had spoke a little bit about what they witnessed, what they saw while they were there. And so I shared that just to kind of help and bring a little bit of awareness of what is going on there and what has happened. Okay. The post was like, let's just say, the post was like this long. Okay. At the very end of that post, the very bottom right here, you had this little bit where he spoke about the administration. Okay. I didn't write that post. I shared it. I did not write it. At the very end, he said something about the administration. I'm not even going to go over that. I'm not going to bring it up. But I'm going to tell you that my purpose of sharing the post was all about just bringing awareness of what's going on there, the devastation. I was not looking at that post in a political way, in any kind of way. But, and even some people said that. I mean, some people came to my rescue and said, hey, she's not trying to be political, but there were people that came back and said, read that very last paragraph. It's very political. And y'all, that was the last of my concern. The last of my thoughts. That was not even my point or my purpose or my reason for sharing the post. Okay, I am the least political person you could ever meet. I don't get into all of that. Yes, I have my opinions. Yes, I have my views and my thoughts, and I vote. Yes, I vote. But do I go around and try to change other people's views and thoughts and dwell on it and watch it on TV all the time? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So it really derailed really, really quick, like a lot of things do on social media. I don't get into that, and I will tell y'all a story. So, I was raised up by my grandparents, and my papa, which was like my most favorite person in the world whenever I was growing up, he was so good to me, and I wish I could have had many, many, many more years with him, but I'm so thankful for the few years that I did have with him. But anyway, whenever I was young, he would take me to school in the mornings, and we would go to Hardee's, sometimes McDonald's, but most of the time Hardee's. And he would have his coffee with the guys there. It would be like the other guys, like hanging out, retired guys at the little restaurant or whatever. And I would get me my breakfast and my orange juice. I remember I loved orange juice. And then he would take me on to school. Well, while we were sitting there, they would do all this conversating. And my grandpa, he was a political guy. And so they would talk politics and this and that. And they'd be smoking their cigarettes. It was back then whenever you would smoke in restaurants. And it's just strange to think about it today. But back then you could. And they'd be smoking their cigarettes, having their coffee. I'm just having my breakfast, getting ready to go to school. And I can remember him talking about politics, and I remember this very vividly. It was whenever it was a local election that we had going on here for sheriff, and one of the guys that was running for sheriff was in there, and he was talking to him, and they were kind of talking back and forth and this and that. And then a few days later, we ran into the opponent, the other guy that was running for sheriff, and he had said something to my papa about coming and putting a sign in the yard. And he told him, yeah, to come on and go ahead. Well, then after we left, I said, well, I thought you was voting for the other guy. And he's like, you never, he said, and I will always remember this. He looks at me and he says, you never tell who you're voting for. That's between you. You don't tell nobody who you're voting for. And I was like, oh, okay. And the funny thing is, the guy that came and put the sign in the yard, he's still the sheriff to this day in our little small town. But he said, you don't tell who you're voting for. And I kind of kept that with me all throughout my life. And I can remember way back whenever all the drama was going on between Hillary and Trump, in the election, like people were talking about who you vote for, this, that. And I'm like, I'm not telling nobody who I vote for. You're not supposed to. That's just the way that I was raised up. You just didn't discuss that. Kind of like you don't discuss with a coworker how much money you're making at work. It may be different than what your coworker is making. So I have really, really learned throughout these last several years, and then especially with that share that I made on Facebook. I didn't even write it. It was just a share, that you keep that stuff with you. You know what I mean? Like you don't put that out there, because it's something that you should just keep with yourself. And so I'm like, I think back to those days where my grandpa told me that. And he was, like I said, he was very well known here in town, and very much into the little local politics, especially, and this and that. But so anyway, like I said, just that little paragraph on that share that I made stirred up such a stink. I mean, even to the point where, people are attacking me on the post and then sending me private messages. So I'll tell you, I'm not even, I would never claim to be, I'm not even close to a perfect person. I mean, I'm full of flaws. I make them all day, every day. I'm going to make plenty more. But there are a few things that I am and that I'm not. One thing I'm not is a pushover. Okay, I'm not a pushover by no means. I will always stand my ground. I will always defend and stand up for the ones that I love, and my people and myself. And I'm not one that's going to go and bash my friends behind their back or tell their business. Like, I just don't do that. I am a very loyal person. I'm very honest. So that's one thing I am. I'm very honest. I'm very upfront. I'm very straightforward. If I have something to say, I'm going to say it to you. And then I'm going to go on. I'm not going to dwell on it. So that's why I tell people all the time, I'm not going to bicker back and forth with you in the comments. I'm just not going to do it. I will say what I got to say, and I'm going to go on with it. Like, I just don't waste time on stuff like that. And so it turned into such a mess with people. Like, if someone wants to get on here and disagree with a recipe, or say, hey, you shouldn't have did this, or you need to add more of that, like, I can let that roll off my back, y'all, all day long. That does not bother me. It does not faze me. But when people want to come in and attack my character and the person that I am, and say, oh, you are spreading lies, like, it is just disgusting that, people are spreading these lies and doing this and that, like, then that's a problem. And I'm not going to tolerate that. And so that's why, like I said, I learned a lesson. I will not share another single thing that has anything whatsoever to do with outside of cooking or Bella or Braden or us. Like, I'm just not going to do it because I'm not going to tolerate it. Like, I was sitting there in bed last night and I had already explained myself to one comment where I was like, hey, I'm not looking at this for a political view. I'm devastated for these people that have dealt with this devastation. I'm just trying to bring awareness. They need help. They need this. They need that. I don't care which side of the fence you're on. These people need help. I don't care where you're at and what you believe in. They need help. Their lives have been turned upside down. So it's like I'm trying to explain that. And then it's like, next thing I know, I see another comment. And it's like I'm having to explain myself again. I just thought, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. I thought, I'm fixing to shut this post down, and then I'll deal with this tomorrow. So this will be my one and only time that I will address this. I love all of y'all. I appreciate every single one of y'all. But I'm not a political person at all. So if anything that I have shared has made you feel that way, I apologize, because I don't do that. I'm not that way. I'm not trying to convince you to change your mind, and I don't expect you to try to convince me to change my mind, okay? It's the same thing with religion. You may be Church of Christ, you may be Baptist, you may not go at all, and that's okay. As long as I worry more about how you are as a person and how you treat people. That's what I care about. I don't care if you're on the front row on Sunday, or if you're sinning all day on Sunday. How you treat people as a person, that's what I care about, okay? So, and I'm not going to judge you. I'm not a judgmental person at all. So, I'm not a nosy person. I'm not a judgmental person. I'm not a gossiper. I live a very, very low-key, laid-back life. I keep to myself. I do my own thing. And I stick up for my friends. I love them. I care about them. I may go weeks and not even talk to them, but I'm there. I love them, and I'm there for them. And that's just the way that I am. And I'm not going to run tell their business, because that's just the person that I am. And so someone coming at me and attacking me all because of something that I shared, then that turns into a problem. It's like I'm just not going to deal with that. You can disagree with my recipe all day long, and I don't care. It's fine. I don't expect everybody to agree, and that does not bother me, not even in the slightest. But attacking me and acting like I'm trying to spread lies and do this and that, then that is a problem. So that's what I'm saying. If you were one of those people and you feel like that you need to unfollow because I shared that, then hey, that's on you. I'm not encouraging you to, head on out. But if you think that my intentions were wrong with me sharing that, then that's that. But my intentions were real. They were pure. They meant well, and that's all I know to say about it. So I appreciate every single person on here. I never imagined this page would grow as much as it has, as quick as it has, but it has, and I'm thankful, and I feel like I have just all these new friends, and like I said, y'all have given me so much encouragement, and I love all of you, but I'm not going to deal with the bashing and stuff just because of something that I share whenever I mean well about it. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if I were to type up a post and then y'all come at me about the political stuff. I would get that. I would say, okay, I put this out there, then that's that. But I do realize that since I shared it, it does come back on me. So, like I said, a lesson learned. There will be no more sharing. I will strictly keep it just the cooking and all the other stuff. The page has always brought me so much happiness. I don't even hardly get on my personal page anymore because I thought, this cooking page brings me so much happiness just with all the uplifting stuff, and it's just everybody's talking about food all the time, and it's a happy place, and I don't want to turn it into something else. I want it to remain that way. So I feel like the best way to do that is just to not put anything like that on there at all. Even though I meant well and I didn't mean it to be that way, other people are going to take it the wrong way, and then it turns into a disaster. And that's not what I want, and I don't want it to be that way. So, because I'm just not going to. Like I said, I live a very peaceful life, and I intend to keep it that way. I don't deal with no drama or nothing. I just keep to myself, and I love it that page has always been so positive, so I want it to remain that way. So anyway, y'all, I just want to get on here and talk about that for a second and just kind of let you know I didn't remove the share because people disagreed. I removed it just simply for my own peace, just for my own self well-being. If you didn't agree with it, that's fine. I get that. We can still be friends. I mean, I don't expect everybody to agree with every single thing. It's okay to agree to disagree, but some people just can't do it in a respectful, nice way. And I get that. I don't expect that, especially when it comes to politics. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't discuss it. I didn't intend on it turning to that. Whenever I posted that, I know these people. They've been there. I knew that those were real pictures. So my whole purpose was just to express the terrible devastation for these people. It has nothing to do with what side of the pole you're on. Like, I don't care about that. I don't care where you're at. I just was looking at it as these people have had their lives turned upside down, and they got a long road for recovery for it. But anyway, y'all, I haven't been in the kitchen cooking. I've been so busy. My house is a wreck. I've been trying to help Braden get situated and cleaned up in his house. So mine is just a wreck. So I'll have to work on mine, I guess, next week. But anyway, that's fine. He's happy. He's just so proud and happy, and I'm just proud and happy for him. So that's just been what's going on. Like I said, y'all ain't been missing nothing in the kitchen. I just hadn't been cooking. I've been eating on that barbecue for days, y'all, and I finally finished it up today. And Lord have mercy, it was good down to the last bite, like I told y'all. I don't know what I'm going to have tonight. I've not eaten a bite yet tonight. Me and Braden had Subway for lunch today, and I hadn't had nothing since. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of get on here and clear that up a little bit and just let y'all know that was not my intentions whatsoever. And it was a lesson learned for me, and I just know from now on that's just not what I'm just not going to do it. So if somebody wants me to share something, and it even has I didn't even think about that little bitty paragraph down there, y'all. Like, that was just not my concern in the whole post, but it was just like that was all that some people seen, and I get it. That's just the way the world works and some minds work. But anyway, I love all of y'all. I appreciate all of y'all. And I enjoy doing all this cooking with y'all and sharing Belle with y'all and just other little things. But we're not going to let it turn ugly. That's for sure. I'll shut it down before I'll do that and let it mess with my peace of mind. But anyway, I'm going to get me something to eat, and I'm about ready to get in the bed. I am tired tonight, but hopefully I can be back on here with y'all tomorrow, and we'll cook up something good, and I hope y'all have a good night, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.